You're not lazy, you're chemically hijacked. See, most people think laziness is a character flaw, but neuroscience tells us something different. Your brain runs on dopamine. That's the reward chemical. But here's what TikTok gurus won't tell you. Dopamine has a baseline. Every time you scroll Instagram, watch shorts, or even check notifications, you're spiking your dopamine way above baseline. The problem? Your brain compensates by dropping your baseline lower. That's why you feel dead inside when you try to read a book after TikTok. It's not that you're undisciplined. Your dopamine receptors are temporarily downregulated. You're literally incapable of feeling pleasure from slow, long-term rewards. Dr. Anna Lembke from Stanford calls this pain-pleasure balance. When you flood your brain with easy dopamine, everything else feels like pain. Your ambitious goals, writing the book, building the business, getting fit, they require delayed gratification, but your brain is currently wired to avoid anything that doesn't give a hit in 15 seconds. So first psychological truth, you don't have a motivation problem, you have a neurochemistry problem, and we're going to fix it without making you miserable. The amygdala hijack, fMRI scan animation versus messy room. Here's why you can't start. It's called amygdala hijacking. When you look at a big project, say start a business, your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, treats it like a predator. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between right business plan and fight a bear. Both register as threats because the task is ambiguous and potentially ego-threatening. Psychologists call this implementation intention failure. Your brain has the goal, prefrontal cortex, but lacks the specific pathway, basal ganglia. It's like having GPS coordinates but no road, so you freeze, not because you're lazy, but because your brain is protecting you from perceived danger. This is why the 2-minute rule works neurologically. When you say open laptop instead of build empire, you bypass the amygdala. The threat detection center relaxes because the task is too small to register as dangerous. You're essentially tricking your limbic system to get your prefrontal cortex back online. It's not willpower, it's cognitive reappraisal, changing how your brain categorizes the threat level of the task. Hyperbolic discounting and temporal myopia. Visual split timeline, instant versus future rewards. Now let's talk about hyperbolic discounting. This is the psychological phenomenon where you drastically overvalue immediate rewards compared to future ones. If I offer you $100 today or $110 tomorrow, you'll probably wait. But if I offer $100 today or $110 in a year, your brain says, take the $100 now. Even though the math is identical, your brain literally discounts the value of future rewards the further away they are. This is why you're ambitious but paralyzed. Your future self, the one with the six-pack and the business, feels like a stranger. fMRI studies show we use different brain regions to think about our current self versus future self. Your future self might as well be a random person on the street. So when you choose TikTok over working on your portfolio, you're not being irrational, you're being temporally myopic. Your brain genuinely cannot feel the reality of that future reward. It's like trying to smell a picture of coffee. The hack? Implementation intentions. Not I will work out, but if it is 7 a.m. and I see my shoes by the bed, then I will put them on immediately. This bridges the temporal gap by making the action automatic, bypassing the discounting mechanism. Cognitive load and decision fatigue. Visual, RAM usage bar filling up. Cognitive load theory, developed by Sweller, explains why you feel mentally exhausted even when you haven't done anything. Your working memory has limited capacity, about 4 to 7 chunks of information at once. Every decision you make, what to wear, what to eat, whether to answer that text, eats up glucose and working memory. This is ego depletion, though recent research debates this. The subjective feeling is real. By 10 a.m., your RAM is full of micro-decisions, so when you sit down to do creative work, your brain says insufficient memory available. This is why Steve Jobs wore the same outfit. It's not quirkiness, it's cognitive resource conservation. When you're lazy, you're actually experiencing analysis paralysis, your brain refusing to add more load to an already full system. The psychological term is decision avoidance. When faced with complex choices, we default to the status quo because it requires zero cognitive resources. That's why you keep opening the same apps instead of learning that new skill. The app is the default path of least resistance. Strategic laziness means engineering your environment so that productive behaviors become become the default, requiring zero decisions. The Zeigarnik Effect and open loops. Visual, loading bars stuck at 99%. Ever wonder why you can't stop thinking about that incomplete project? That's the Zeigarnik Effect, discovered by Zeigarnik in 1927. Your brain treats incomplete tasks like open tabs in a browser. They consume background processing power, creating psychic entropy, mental noise that prevents clarity. Here's the paradox. Lazy people are actually more susceptible to this because we hate having things hanging over us, but instead of finishing tasks, we avoid starting them entirely to prevent the Zeigarnik loop from beginning. It's preemptive anxiety management, but we can weaponize this. When you do the 2-minute version of a task, you create what psychologists call a commitment device. Once started, the Zeigarnik effect kicks in and your brain won't let you forget it. That open loop becomes uncomfortable. You'll find yourself thinking about the project in the shower, while eating, before bed. This is psychological momentum. Objects in motion stay in motion not because of physics, but because of cognitive dissonance. Your brain hates mismatch between action and identity. When you act like someone who does the thing, your brain updates your self-concept to match. It's the Benjamin Franklin effect applied to yourself. Start small, let the Zeigarnik effect create tension, then use that tension to pull you forward. Self-determination theory and autonomy. Visual, triangle diagram, autonomy, competence, relatedness. Let's get deep. Self-determination theory by DC and Ryan tells us that humans need 3 things for intrinsic motivation: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Traditional hustle culture destroys autonomy. It makes you feel controlled by external shoulds. When you say, "I have to grind," you trigger psychological reactance, the urge to resist constraints on your freedom. That's why you rebel against your own schedule. It feels like an external authority rather than internal choice. This is why lazy people often fail at rigid systems. Your brain detects a threat to autonomy and sabotages the process. The solution? Autonomous regulation. Reframe "I have to" as "I choose to." Even better, I choose not to do this today, but I choose to do this small part. Competence is the second need. When tasks feel too big, you experience learned helplessness, Seligman's famous concept. You believe your actions don't affect outcomes, so you stop acting. Breaking tasks into micro-wins restores your locus of control, the belief that you can influence your environment. The third need, relatedness, explains why accountability partners work. When someone else is watching, the task becomes socially embedded. You're not just letting yourself down, you're violating social expectations. Our brains are wired to avoid social exclusion more than to seek success. The urgency effect and present bias. Visual, calendar with everything crammed into today. Why do you wait until the last minute? It's called temporal discounting, combined with the urgency effect. Research by Gloria Mark shows that we prioritize tasks based on perceived urgency rather than importance. Your brain has a present bias. It overweights anything that feels immediate. This is evolutionary. Immediate threats, saber-toothed tigers, killed you. Long-term planning was luxury. So your nervous system prioritizes putting out fires over building fireproof structures. The lazy person is actually someone with heightened sensitivity to effort aversion. Studies using fMRI show that when we imagine future effort, the anterior cingulate cortex lights up as if we're experiencing physical pain. We're literally pain forecasting. But here's the hack. Temptation bundling by Katie Milkman. Pair the unpleasant future task with an immediate reward, but only available during the task. Listen to your favorite podcast only while working out. Check Twitter only while on the treadmill. You're essentially tricking your limbic system to rewire your brain's association with effort from pain to pleasure. Also use time boxing with the Pomodoro technique, not for productivity, but for pain limitation. Tell your brain we only have to suffer for 25 minutes, then we get a break. This reduces the anticipatory anxiety, the dread that often exceeds the actual effort. Identity-based habits and cognitive dissonance. Visual, mirror image changing. Finally, the deepest psychological layer, self-concept theory. Who you believe you are determines what you do more than what you want. Cognitive dissonance theory, Festinger in 1957, states that we can't hold conflicting beliefs. If you believe I am lazy but act disciplined, your brain experiences dissonance, psychological discomfort. To resolve it, you either change the behavior, go back to being lazy, or change the identity. Most people try to change behavior first. That's backwards. Identity precedes behavior. When you label yourself as ambitious but lazy, you create a limiting identity. Instead, adopt the label of strategically efficient or energy economist. When you act in alignment with a new identity, even in tiny ways, you trigger self-signaling. Your brain observes your actions and updates your self-concept. I am the type of person who shows up. Not I want to write, but I am a writer who happens to be taking a nap right now. This is the Ash effect applied to yourself. You conform to your own label of yourself. Neuroplasticity and closing. Visual, neural pathways lighting up. Remember, your brain is plastic. Every time you choose the 2-minute action over the scroll, you're myelinating a new neural pathway. You're literally rewiring your dopamine baseline. The lazy ambitious paradox isn't a curse, it's high sensitivity to inefficiency.
You're a precision instrument in a world of blunt force. Stop trying to be a hammer. Be a scalpel. Your psychology isn't broken, it's just been optimized for a different operating system. Update the software, keep the hardware. Now go close one loop, just one. Your amygdala will...
Thank you for watching this video.